So we are looking at what is Metaverse. So Metaverse has been made popular by Facebook when the name was changed from Facebook to Metaverse. So we want to look at what exactly is Metaverse, but it's also important to know that there are specific components that constitute of this idea. So one of them is the Web 3.0. We also have elements like virtual reality and also augmented reality forming the bigger idea behind Metaverse. So Metaverse is considered the next big thing of the internet, and some technologies that are basically forming the basis of this metaverse thing is virtual reality headset. We have virtual reality or augmented reality glasses. Other elements which are critical to metaverse is interoperability standards. So these are the major things as far as what is .com is concerned. So what is .com is the page I'm using as a reference to basically explain to you what a metaverse is. Okay, so metaverse has some kind of history, just the same way each element, each component, even human beings, we have history. Where we are today is a compilation of experiences that have been put together to bring forth who we are, and it is something that has been compounded over time, and so we can be able to express and explain the elements that we have today in terms of history. And when we're looking at history of something, we focus so much on the elements and how they became, and in so doing we are able to appreciate and understand the history of something as it is. Now, for us today, we are looking at the metaverse thing. Now, metaverse was primarily coined, or the concept was first introduced by an author in 1992 by the name Neil Stephenson in his science fiction novel Snow Crash. That is according to whatis.com. Now, and work on that technologies underpin virtual reality, internet data, basically backdating to several decades ago. So, according to this website, there are historic timelines that have been basically posted here on this page, which I think they go even before 1992. So there was in 1938 somebody by Antonin Attard uses the term virtual reality in his collection of essay, the theater and its double. So that one was so many years ago. Then in 1962, there was some American filmmaker known as Morton Hillig built the Sensorama, a machine that simulated the experience of riding a motorbike through New York City via 3D movie, vibrating chair, fan, and smell. That was part of the history. So you see, metaverse is still something that is I wouldn't say it is at infancy level, but it has moved far and beyond that level, and it is slowly by slowly, making a niche for itself, and becoming something that we are able to relate with every day. It is a part of the technology that we are using today. So there are so many things that basically are in metaverse that we need to understand, and also to uh, you know uh, uh, grab that idea and integrate it into our own understanding, and therefore it will help us, um, be able to appreciate and understand this technology going forward. Now, in 1984, American computer scientist, a musician, and a VR virtual reality pioneer Jason Jeron, okay, Lenifer found VPL Research, right, which developed one of the first virtual reality headsets and gloves. So, virtual reality is not something that began yesterday, but as you can see, it is something that began way much back in time, and over time things have been changing. Now, in 1989, English computer scientist Tim Berners-Lee lays the ground for World Wide Web while at CERN. And you see, when talking of metaverse, we're talking of internet, we're talking of virtual reality. That's why we see these technologies cannot exist uh, without internet. There is also the other aspect of Internet of Things, which I think will be able to, bring it the certain elements of complexity into the system, but into the system of metaverse. But there is a way, okay, then the technology is synthesized and it is being made possible and palatable for so many people. At the same time, the systems that are being created are created in such a manner that the elements, the derivatives of these technologies are able to propel humankind to the next level and bring a host of knowledge to the people and even to the future. Okay, right now, because of the technology we are having, 100 years from now, some people, individuals, will try to look back, beyond their timeline, beyond their time zone, and they will go back in history, and at some point they will be able to explain what we are explaining today as the end thing, as something in the past, because whatever we are doing today is basically laying a layer of technology on top of what was already done before. And so it is like a staircase, in technology. A technology is birth, then the people, the individuals, the enthusiasts in that area are able to capture it and run with it and bring a another level of understanding to it, which is very important. So I don't want to go so much into the history aspect of what metaverse is, but as you can see, it is something that is worth mentioning. Anything that we do today is a component, it is an element within the major function of history that is able to bring down the ideas of the past into current generation, and we are able to synthesize these ideas and make better informed choices, better informed understanding of the philosophical ideas that were laid before time. And so, having said that, now we we have Metaverse gaining a lot of traction in the recent past, and it is our responsibility to understand the importance, why what we are talking about today as Metaverse. What is it about, and how is it important in our living today? At times we may consider ourselves, detached from the technological realities, but at the end of the day, we play a lot of importance in making sure that these technologies that are there are being used to the level in which they were created for, and at the same time we are able to consume these technologies and make some source of analytical data which lay foundation of understanding the concepts that we have today. We are basically, you know, um, you know, adding to the body of knowledge through our data that we provide, and the technology that we consume. We are providing a means through which the whole phenomenon of metaverse is being analyzed, and we are basically making it possible for the players and the technology field to understand these concepts as they move on. Now, probably metaverse was popularized by Facebook in October 2021, when the name Facebook was rebranded to Metaverse. So, and that is very important to take note of, and uh, Metaverse is important because it is a technology that incorporates other technologies. So it is a host of technologies put together to, provide means with which we interact with things, in which we interact with virtual world. At the same time, we are able to, uh, undertake and do what we call e-commerce. Yeah, we are also able to, understand some aspects of life that we cannot understand without simulating them within the knowledge or the platform that is created by metaverse. So I'm just saying that metaverse is important because it is able to merge so many technologies together. At the same time, is also able to provide so many fronts or many avenues of interacting with people at different levels in terms of understanding the concept itself, and also uh, understanding the way our interactions are done, be it in commercial aspect where we do business online, be it in the e-commerce advertising, be it in the way we are able to exchange information and data through different forms, be it the transactions that we are able to make through elements such as bitcoins, and be able uh, to actualize the whole idea of blockchain transaction online, uh, is which is a fundamental uh, element within the whole concept of metaverse. So going forward, there are so many aspects that we are going to see, going forward in terms of the development and the the realistic ideas that are going to be generated from the interaction and basically consumption of metaverse knowledge and system in the world today. So it is important because metaverse is going to provide not only a platform to do business and to carry out and perform transaction, but it is also going to form a field in which people are able to study and come up with ideas and fundamentally change the course and how we think and how we perceive and how we are able to delocalize our way of thinking and probably adopt the logical thinking that is predominantly uh, created and we are exposed to by virtue of interacting with these technologies that are there. So I'm so excited to see that technology is a very important aspect of our lives today, and we cannot run away from it. Technology is inevitable. Nobody should ever tell you that you can live without the technology. Now, technology is important. It helps us understand. It helps us understand our environment. It helps us, predict the future, with certainty, yeah, of laser. Like there are so many ways people have been able to, perceive how this thing work. But broadly speaking, metaverse is a digital ecosystem built based on 3D technology, virtual reality, real-time collaboration software, blockchain-based centralized financial tools. So there are so many systems that constitute metaverse that if we want to understand how metaverse work, then we are forced to look at each component that constitutes a metaverse and understand the operation and the functionality of each subsystem within metaverse. Then only then we can be able to understand how metaverse work. But as it is today, metaverse consists of several things, and some of the things or factors that are going to influence how this thing works is apart from the technologies that like 3D technologies, blockchain, financial system, things like the virtual reality components of metaverse. There are also factors like in operability, data portability, governance, and user interface. Now, because of how complex metaverse is, the whole idea of governance and the policies and the operations which underpins metaverse, there are so many laws and regulations that are meant to be put in place in order to govern how people use this content or use metaverse. But then again, that is a whole body of knowledge that requires knowledge beyond that of an IT expert, a system analyst expert, but it is also going to branch to other field like the law, how the policies are meant to operate, how they are outlined, how people are going to be empowered, how people are going to be made aware of what is expected as far as Metaverse is concerned and the uses. Now, there are costs there. There are the policies and the license, so there are so many things that Metaverse is going to bring and onto the table. Now, how can we access Metaverse? So Metaverse is going to be actually accessed through virtual reality fronts, and also in augmented reality, in blockchain. So there are so many ways we are going to access Metaverse, and so it is something that constitutes so many technologies, and we have been able to mention some of the technologies that are going to to form the whole idea of a Metaverse in the world today. We have things like artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, extended reality, brain computer interfaces, 3D modeling and reconstruction. We have spatial and edge computing. Then we also have, as I mentioned, blockchain. So these are some of the technologies that are going to drive Metaverse today. So Metaverse is used in various areas, which I'm not going to tell you today, but probably in a future video or a future platform like this,